Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I'm so glad that I am with you again this week. And for those of you that are viewing for the first time, welcome and thank you for stopping by. And if you desire, please share my channel, subscribe to it first, share it with a friend, and come back again. So I'm going to share with you my affirmation for this week. And it is, I am a finisher and not just a starter. I will keep the promises that I make to myself and remain faithful to whatever I say I will do. I will not quit when it doesn't feel good. That's really important because it's easy for us to quit when something doesn't feel good. Now in Galatians 6:9 it says, do not grow weary while doing good, for in due season you will reap. You will reap if you do not lose heart. In other words, you will reap if you don't quit. You'll see the fruit of whatever you're doing. So I looked up the word weary, and I wanted to break it down further, to help us to understand what that looks like. It's not to grow weary means not to lose your patience or your enthusiasm for something. And it's easy for us to do that when we want instant gratification. Sometimes, or shall I say most times, we tell ourselves that we are going to do the work, we're going to work at something, but when we see the challenges that come with the task or with the process, and that the process is taking too long, we want to give up. But if we do that, we'll never bear the fruit and we'll never see the outcome. Now, you've heard the old adage, Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, in the same way, growth does not happen overnight. It takes time, and you have to be consistent. We have to remain faithful to our word and do what we said we were going to do. Another scripture that comes to my mind is found in James chapter 1, verse 22, and it says, be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourself. And we've also heard, this is a scripture, that faith without works or corresponding action is dead. It doesn't have to feel good for us to remain faithful or to remain consistent. So I wanted to share that with you this morning. It's very short and sweet, but that is my affirmation for the week. And it's a really important one because I want to stay consistent in whatever I do. And listen, staying consistent is a choice. We have to keep our word and honor what we said we were going to do, what we fashion our hearts to do, whatever God shows us to do. So that's my affirmation for today. I hope that it blesses you, and I hope that it speaks to someone because, if you're like me, I am an enthusiastic starter. I'll get it done, but I'll begin to fizzle out, if I don't see the outcome that I expected. So we have to leave the outcome up to God, but we have to be faithful to our word. And we have to also know that it is a process, and it's a growing process, and growth doesn't happen overnight, and we can see that with God's creation. So you have trees, you have fruit, you have farmers. Their crops doesn't come overnight, but there's a fruit that will come if you keep working at it. So that is my affirmation. I hope that it blesses you, and I hope that you, again, adopt it as your own. If not, create your own affirmation so that there's something that you can focus in on this week that God may be showing you. So in any case, have a glorious day, a glorious week, and hopefully, by God's grace, I will meet you back here again next week for another one of Sandra J's Monday morning affirmations or declarations. Thank you again for stopping by, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye for now.